Y'all, this week's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey was a doozy, honey. Like, I got so much to talk about. It ain't even funny because everybody was making me mad, all right? If you're new to my channel, what's good? My name is Keisha, aka ColorMePynk, and I'm here with my all tea, all shade Real Housewives of New Jersey season 14 episode 4 review. So the episode begins with Marge and Joe. They go and get burgers, riding on a motorcycle, having a good old day. And Marge brings up Fessler talking to Teresa. And basically she was like, Fessler is chicken and she weak sauce when it comes to Teresa. Like, she not like me. She don't stand on business when it come to people. And it's obvious after watching these first 4 episodes that I don't know what the Fessler's problem is. I don't know if she can comprehend the it's messy. She trying to get camera time. She trying to become a full-time housewife. I don't know what the is, but that kick rocks. Marge says that she's offended by the fact that Jackie hasn't let her read her book yet, but she's let Fessler and Melissa read it. And she was like, Melissa don't even read. I don't even think Melissa can read. And she was like, it's really weird to her that she kind of moving this way, and says that Jackie also hasn't checked in on her since Jan passed. Now, she said that she came to the funeral and all of that stuff, but she has not checked in on her at all since then. Joe was like, your sadness, I can't fix it. I wish I could, but I cannot. And, she's emotional. She starts to cry, and he consoles her, and she had me cracking up, talking, so don't worry, when you die, I'll cry this way too. But it's obvious that she's hurt. Like, she spent years of her life with this man, had children, step kids, and they still had a very close relationship even after the divorce. You know what I'm saying? So it's obvious that she's still reeling from this and going through it. And considering how close her and Jackie were, I'm shocked that Jackie hasn't really been there for her. We then go to Rachel meeting up with Fessler to discuss what happened down on the shore. And they sit down to talk, and Rachel tears up and begins to cry and says that, she's really hurt by Fessler. Fessler was like, well, to be honest, I really don't get it. It's like, what do you not get, lady? Like, are you the Tin Man? Do you not have a heart? Like, I'm just not understanding. And Fessler in her confessional saying, you reach a certain age in your life where you're not looking for new bullshit. Rachel is 32 years old, and she compartmentalizes things differently. And I'm just not getting what she's upset about. Like, let's just squash it already. It's boring. So her feelings are boring to you? Like, they're like, what? Like, this so cold hearted. Like, I don't understand what is wrong with her. Like, when it comes to Rachel and Margaret, it's like, were these people ever your friends? Because you don't act like it. Like, you understand why they're upset. Stop going with this narrative that you don't get it, you don't understand. You understand, ho. Like you said, you're a woman of a particular age. Ho, you have lived a life. You know exactly why they are upset with you. Because up until now, it's been, I don't Louis, he's a liar. I believe what he did to your son. This, that, and the third. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. But then when the cameras go up, now it's, I never had a problem with them. Teresa's a nice person. I can be friends with her. Like, that's why people are feeling some type of way, because you totally switched up. And let me remind y'all that even here today, present time, Fessler just did an interview where she said she does believe that Louis contacted Marge's son. So with that being said, how could you be friends with somebody like Teresa where her husband could do something so vicious and nasty and vile. Like, I wouldn't want to have nothing to do with neither one of them. Like, like, you don't make sense. You and Jackie are doing the exact same thing. Y'all are vying for a spot on this show by any means necessary, and y'all going about it all wrong, because we the viewers aren't that stupid. Nobody believes you or Jackie and this newfound I can be friends with whoever I want to be y'all on. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Y'all both look stupid. The viewers are not liking either one of you this season. Like, y'all played y'all hand and y'all played it wrong. Y'all both stupid. So Rachel was like, I'm hurt because when you're sitting down with somebody that has tried to attack my husband and my family, they should get 0. That's a level of disappointment for me and John that you're justifying what she says. Like, you're supposed to be my friend, and you gonna befriend somebody that's going around town saying my husband sells drugs and talking to his ex-wife, baby mama, whatever, digging up dirt on him with private investigators. You then decide that you want to be friends with somebody like that. I wish one of my friends would do me like that. Not only am I beating her, I'm beating yo as well. Like, that is the fakest of and Rachel has every right to feel that the way that she does. Like, who does that? Like, y'all play too much for me. Where was I at? So Fessler was like, well, I did the best that I can. I don't go into situations like Margaret does, drawing blood. Rachel was like, well, moving forward, I think you need to remove yourself from this. John and Louie need to talk. Fessler was like, so don't talk about this with Teresa. Rachel says, that's it. Now, mind you, Marge and Rachel have both told this, do not talk about us to that hoe. Be friends with all you want, but keep our names, our situations out of your mouth in a conversation with her. If she bring it up, tell her I ain't got nothing to do with it. No. This keep on talking. Even in this episode. And it's just like, okay. At the reunion, Rachel and Margaret better cuss her the out. Period. So Fessler was like, but your level of upset with me, I don't get it. You need to get hooked on phonics then, since you don't understand shit. So Rachel starts to cry again and was like, in that moment, I felt like I was mourning the loss of what our friendship used to be. And Fessler gets emotional and says that she knows where her heart is. Like, that I love you. You know where my heart is. Well, as of right now, today, they don't speak. And I don't blame Rachel, because I wouldn't want to have nothing to do with their fate. So Jen Aiden decides to have a dog party, and Jackie goes. Fessler goes, Teresa, Dolores, Gia is there. And we find out that Gia has been in a 5-year relationship, and her boyfriend actually works for Louie. And I was like, girl, you better tell him to find something else, because when that ship sinks, I wouldn't want my boyfriend to be nowhere near it at all. Okay. And let me just say, I don't like Gia being on the show like that in like a friend capacity. It's weird. We saw her grow up. I understand she's in her 20s now, but it's still weird. It's still giving, a child sitting at the grown up table, and it's just too messy having this daughter seated amongst these 40, 50-year-old women talking about these grown folks topics and her having an opinion on it. And then when somebody cuss Gia out and not give a about her being Teresa's daughter, then she's gonna be wrong. How could you say that to her? She a child. She a young lady. No, you done put her in a grown folks situation. Then she need to get handled like grown people. Okay, I don't like it. It's crossing a line that once it's crossed, ain't no going back. Cause like me, Gia gets smart, say something slick, I'm cussing her the mama is. I you and your mama up. period. So I think that they need to cut that out. Start a Young Housewives franchise then. I don't like Gia being on the show. How y'all feel about it? Do y'all, it's cringy to me seeing her sitting there. How do y'all feel about it? I want to know. So Danielle, who isn't there, is brought up in conversation. And Jen points out that a guest of hers named Lena knows Danielle very well, right? Like, Jen Aiden can't even be inconspicuous. Like, it's like, the light is on you. It's your time to shine. You remember what we talked about? It's like the setup wasn't even done right, bro. Like, she's so obvious. It doesn't even make sense. So Lena was like, I don't know her on a personal level, but the incident that happened, everybody was like, no, we don't know. So she was like, it could have been nothing, but she asked me to touch up her hair. I opened up my salon for her. She had like a housewife event that she was doing, and she asked me to go. So I bought tickets. Coming to find out, it was like this function she was having, and she asked for Teresa and Jen to like host the event. So they came with their glam squad, their friends, So after the event happened, everybody was in the VIP section, kicking it. And the girl Lena says, the waitress comes over to me and was like, you don't have a pink wristband. You have to go. And she was like, I told her, no, I wasn't going. Like, I'm a guest. So the waitress went back over to Danielle. They had a conversation. And then the waitress came back over and was like, yeah, you got to go. So she felt some type of way. Like, I done bent over backwards for you, opening up my salon for you, this, that, and the third, bought tickets to your event. And then I can't sit over here with everybody else. Now, mind you, she has done Teresa's hair as well in the past. So she knows the click. Like, that is up if she did do that girl like that. That is very up. Is it up to the point that now Jen is targeting her? No. But Jennifer Aiden is a snake. And once again, I'm so confused at how Jennifer Aiden feels some type of way about Danielle when y'all was the one that set her up for failure last year. Make it make sense that now all of a sudden you going after her. Like, the dirty work that her and Teresa be on, and people be like, I love Teresa so much, be just, it's a mind. I don't understand what half of you people be watching. I really honestly don't. So everybody was kind of just like sitting there. Okay, like, yeah, that was, but okay. So, Jennifer in her confession was like, there are things that have been brewing with Danielle, and I would rather Lena tell her story than it come from me. It's still coming from you because you set the plot for it to be brought up. Stop. Please stop. So Jen was like, I called her up the next day and I was like, you threw out Lena? Like, how do you have the audacity to do that? She was like, I want no part of it. I want no part of it. So Jen says that, so Jen then says that she did invite Margaret over to the little dog party event, but Margaret, didn't come. And Teresa was like, what dog was Joe Bonino going to bring? Margaret or his real dog? This is Fessler's face. This is Dolores' face. This is Jen Aiden's face. This is Jackie's face. Even they were looking like, that's a lot. You calling this lady a dog? Like, God, Teresa, like, okay. Like, even they were looking like, that's a bit much. And then I'm still looking at Fessler. This called your best friend of I don't know how many years a dog in your face, and you still sitting there. You didn't cuss her the out, and you still want to be friends with her. Make it make sense to me. Like, me and Fessler would have to shoot a fair one. Period. Point blank. So then Fessler tells them that Margaret and Rachel were taken aback when she hugged Teresa when they were sitting over there talking. Didn't they both tell your wide mouth bobblehead to not bring them up to this? You still are doing it. What the is wrong with you? Did James Gandalf come and sense out your her? Like, I just cannot. So of course that gives them ammo. They look like So Jackie was like, sometimes I feel like they're territorial. And Dolores in her confessional, because she a confessional gangster, she ain't gonna never say seen, was like, I must be in the Twilight Zone right now. Up until recently, Jackie wanted Teresa dead. Now they kumbaya. Make it make sense. And once again, this is why Dolores needs to go, because you got so much to say in your confessionals, but you never say the in scene. Because I would have been like, since when y'all hoes get cool? Like, somebody fill me in. Jackie, what's going on with you? Because this is weird, bitch. I would have called her right then and there. And Teresa too, because you don't even like this hoe. Period. You low-key want the husband. Okay? Girl, get out of here. Get out of here. So, after that, Fessler was like, she feels like now John and Louis should talk. Once again, running her mouth. Dolores was like, well, they could talk in my softball game. Gia was like, I'm telling you, Louis, he's a really good guy. He said things and I've looked at him and I'm like, Lou, that's not the person you are. These people are just making you go crazy. And this is why she don't need to be on the show. Because, little girl, you don't even know what the talking about. That's very much who the is, little girl. This brainwashed y'all like he done brainwashed your dumb ass mama. So here go Fessler. People are always saying hateful, disgusting things to each other that they wouldn't otherwise. And so much of it goes back to, I hate to say this, I'm not trying to go there, but Teresa, you and your brother. It's like this. Just keep a foot in her mouth. Like, where did that come from? Everybody was looking at her like, okay, let's switch the subject. We're not going there. And it's just like, exactly like, it's like she's just trying to stir up drama and trouble. And it's like, what happened to Funny Fessler from last season? Fan favorite, Miss Congeniality. This year, you suck. Ugh. So then we see Melissa and Joe drop Antonia off. It was very emotional. Danielle is having a kids fashion show and none of her family is coming. Her mom is going on a trip. Her and her daddy ain't talking. Her and her brother ain't talking. Her mother-in-law doesn't want to take the drive or something like that. So it's unfortunate she ain't got no family coming. But she says no matter how much her dad apologizes, she'll always look at him different after everything went down. I just find it hard to believe that this family is in such peril over baby shower invite or whatever it was, and now she mad at her daddy because the brother returned a Christmas gift. Girl, it's way deeper than what the y'all talking about, like, because this is weird. So at the baseball game, Danielle asks Jackie who invited her to the dog party, and I'm like, this is the type of time Dolores need to be on, because Danielle was like, who invited you? Like, when y'all get cool? So Jackie was like, I'm friends with Jen. The only person I'm not friends with is you. Jen and I have been friends since 2018. Since when? You and Jen Aiden been friends since 2018. Why? What? The lies that Margaret did one of these. I'm like, exactly, the lies. Danielle was like, we are friends. Now I gotta call Danielle, like, you don't for real, girl, stop. So Jackie was like, no, but then you had a party and didn't invite me. I thought that was not nice. And Margaret jumps in and was like, you and Danielle weren't close. You weren't getting along. You can't take such personal offense. Facts. You that girl all last season dogging her out about her outfits, and then you thought she was going to invite you to her event. Make it, Jackie, stop acting. stupid. So Jackie was like, you don't take my side in anything. And I was like, now wait one minute. Now that's what we not gonna do. Now we not gonna sit up here and act like Margaret has not defended you and had your back. She has had your back more than anybody on this show. Like, went to bat with you. Like, that's some bullshit. Like, this is what I be talking about. Money and fame and 5 seconds of TV time will really f people up, or really just show who they really truly are. Really, truly. Because the way Jackie is retelling time, you would think Margaret was the worst person ever in life, and her and Jen and Teresa just been skipped to my darling. Like, I can't believe that she's doing what she's doing, all because she ain't a full-time housewife. You risking friendships for this television show, people that really gave a about you and cared about you. Because Jen, Aiden, and Teresa don't get, you're just another ally for them. And the viewers aren't feeling it, aren't feeling what you're doing. I wouldn't be surprised if you got fired after this season, and then you did all of this for what? Dumb. So Margaret was like, Jackie, my whole life I've taken your side. Jackie was like, you're making a lot of excuses for someone to cut me out if this is the way you really feel. Margaret was like, no, this is the way I feel. What have you ever done for me? It was the anniversary of Jen's passing. Jackie was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. And she was like, yeah, because you don't call me. And Jackie was like, did you post about it? Not did you post about it. What? Wow. Jackie was like, I feel like you don't give me the time of day anymore. Margaret was like, how many times have I asked you for your book? I championed you for that book. She said, I championed you for that book. Jackie has now spun it and says, are you saying I got a book deal because of you? Margaret was like, no, I'm saying I was the first one who knew about your book, and I was happy and excited for you. So if I was the first person you told that you got in a book deal, I would also find it weird that I haven't read it, but Fessler and Melissa have. It don't make sense. It just does not. So Jackie was like, no. So, Jackie said, so what? My mother hasn't even read it yet. And Marge was like, oh, that's not surprising. And I was like, oh, no, that cut deep. But I don't even blame Marge at this point, because fuck Jackie. So Jackie was like, I could talk about my mother. You can't. Jackie in her confession was like, what I'm realizing is for a long time, I've been letting Margaret feel like she was here and I was under her, like I was a part of her entourage. You are not the centerpiece of my life. You don't need a copy of my book. Well, that's how you honestly feel. You didn't plan on letting her read that book, probably because you was talking about her in the book, probably. And then on top of that, that girl never treated you like you were part of her entourage and like you was beneath her. Stop trying to rewrite history. So Marge was like, Jackie, I've never met someone as self-centered as you. And she storms out. The Gorgas and Teresa and them arrive at the same time, and Teresa looking her brother up and down when he come into the dressing room or whatever. And I was like, why is you looking at that man up and down like that? Now, if he was to say looking at, then he'll be wrong. Like, oh my God. And it's so obvious that she was looking him up and down like that because she wanted him to say something to her. She wanted him to acknowledge her, and he walked right past her. And you can tell she missed her brother. You can tell she misses him. That's why she did that. Looking him up and down all nasty. Now, got to give it to Melissa, because Melissa didn't speak to her, but she told her son to speak to his auntie. We never see Teresa telling them girls to speak to their aunt, to respect her and their uncle. Never, ever, ever. And he spoke to his aunt. Because let me tell you something. If I was the Gorgas kids, would have been like, I ain't speaking of that. So Dolores says that the charity event is for Gertie because she was going through breast cancer battle, so they're raising money for breast cancer. Rachel's RA, however, is flaring up really, really bad, and it's scaring her because when she was younger, it got to the point where they were saying she wouldn't be able to walk or she was having trouble walking. Like, it's really bad. Marge says to Fessler, I gotta say, I'm hurt. Is this really who you want to align yourself with? And they leave it there. They never go back to it. Melissa goes to Jen and says they need to talk because they could have a relationship outside of Teresa. And if at the end of the conversation, Jen's still on some, I don't like this bitch, we can just keep it as it is. And the episode goes off. This is a really good episode. Like I said, the way Fessler and Jackie are moving is so bogus. It's so just scripted and fake. It doesn't make sense at all. Like, this was not thought out very well. It's actually disheartening, especially it's disheartening to me from Fessler and Jackie, because Fessler and Marge have been friends for I don't know how many years, and the switch up is just so up. And then her and Jackie actually build such a great friendship that I thought, over the last 4 or 5 years, and now Jackie just on some her type. Like, it's so messed up. It really honestly is. And so I know that Marge had to be really emotional because she lost Jan. Now she was probably feeling like she lost one of her best friends, and Jackie and Fessler. Even though she said her and Fessler are still cool, you can't tell me that it's the same way it used to be. Nah. Nope. And you can tell Fessler is already backtracking. Like I said in the interview that she recently did, she said that she does believe that Louis reached out to Margaret's son, calling him on the phone. And she kind of switched up. Oh, and she said that moving forward, she's just going to stay out of other people's situation. You could tell she's already regretting the way that she's moving because the fans are eating her up as they should. I'm going to give this week's episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey an A. Every week I be mad. I be pissed off. They make me so upset. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode down below in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.